Hey everyone, welcome back to Lace Up Channel. My name's Mickey. Today we're going to talk about the worth, the value of your multi-million dollar distribution business. So with all the liquidity being pumped into the system currently, asset prices have absolutely skyrocketed. You've seen a huge gain in the value of the stock market, in the value of Bitcoin, in properties. You've seen just about everything explode in value, and you can really see that reflect in businesses. Like now more than ever, you've seen a bunch of businesses being bought out by big private equity firms, larger distributors, people just looking to grow their portfolios in a time when money is so cheap. In this video, we're going to cover the exact value of your business, and if you've been approached, if somebody is going to give up millions of dollars to acquire you, are you getting the right amount of money? Anyways, let's get right into it. So when it comes to valuing a business, there are 5 things that you need to look at. The first one is, what is your EBITDA? Your EBITDA is your earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Every single company should be able to calculate their EBITDA in a couple of fail swoops, something super simple to calculate, and you want to take it and multiply it times your industry's EBITDA multiple. So an EBITDA multiple is the multiple assigned to your industry based on future projected cash flows that gives you a rough valuation of your business. So in the distribution industry, or the food distribution industry to be specific, according to a resource that I found here online called digitalexits.com, the EBITDA multiple of the food distribution game is 3.47x EBITDA. So for example, if your business does $1 million in EBITDA, then your valuation would be $3.47 million. But this is only the first factor that you need to take into account when calculating valuations. The second factor is your balance sheet. What's on your balance sheet? What do you have that's liquid? What do you have in inventory, right? What do you have in cash or cash equivalents in a CD account? What do you have in long-term assets? Do you have a building that you own? Maybe you have a building that's worth $1 million and you owe $500,000 on it. Well, all of those assets have a value and they are noted as shareholder equity on your balance sheet. When you add your valuation, which is essentially a projection of your future cash flows plus your shareholder equity, you get closer to the valuation. But here comes the real kicker. The third thing that goes into valuing your business. Okay, that third thing is, what is your growth? So with every company struggling to keep up with the cost of capital, struggling to keep up with inflation and asset prices right now, companies, acquirers, private equities, they're looking for businesses that outpace inflation. They're looking for businesses that will generate 10 to 20% on their capital every single year. Is your business one of these? Because if it is, you've just hit the jackpot. So let's rewind a little bit and think of that example. We have $1 million business, 3.47x multiple, that's 3.47, let's call it 3.5 million in EBITDA multiple, as well as $500,000 on your balance sheet. So your business is worth about 3.97 million. But now if you're gonna grow at 20% a year for the next 5 years, you can tag on an additional $1 million onto that because you have a premium because your business is growing like crazy. And you can multiply that even more if your business is growing at 50 or 100%, right? Your premium should go up, okay, equivalent to your growth rates. Now, if you're growing at 10% a year, your business is gonna be worth exactly what you multiply times your EBITDA multiple plus your shareholder equity or shareholder value. That being said, if your business is explosively growing, let's say your business is growing at 100% a year. So this year, your EBITDA is 1.2 million. Next year is 2.4. Year after is 4.8. Well, now you can easily use a 20, 30x multiple because in 10 years, your company is making billions of dollars, right? So what you have to look at is your growth rates. That's the third thing you want to look at. The fourth thing that you want to look at, and something super important that almost nobody takes into account, is how do you feel psychologically, right? How do you feel about leaving your business? Are you done? Have you checked out mentally? Has it been years since you worked more than 8 hours? How do you feel getting up and coming to work every day? These are things that are super important, and quite often this tends to be the most important factor, even more important than cash flows and money and offers. You don't care. Some people just want out. Some people want to do something else with their lives. I can tell you, I've been in that position at least once or twice in my life, and I promise you have too. You need to think about psychologically, right? How you feel about the business. Even if the offer isn't good enough, like let's say instead of 3.47 multiple, they're giving you a 3 multiple, and they're giving you, let's say $3.5 million for $1 million EBITDA business that's growing at 10% a year. Well, you need to think about, do I want out? Do I want to do something else with my life? What is it that really gives me passion, that fulfills me to get up every single morning and go to work? So really think about psychologically how you feel. The fifth thing that you really want to think about when considering your business's valuation are external things, like, is the business reliant on you? Do you have systems and processes in place that you can plug in the moment you leave the business and turn it over to another hand? These are things that anybody acquiring you is going to look at. They don't want a business that's solely reliant upon its owner to generate revenue, because at the end of the day, they would need you as an employee in order to generate any amount of revenue that you're projecting they're going to generate. What they want is something that's plug and play, something that's easy. Also, they really want to know, what is your business in the market? Where does it reside? What's the competition? What competitive advantages do you have? This is in addition to all the other stuff. These are just pluses, but they're super important, because if you have a monopoly that you haven't exploded because you're not a good enough owner, because you're not a good enough entrepreneur, they're going to look at that as an opportunity to grow the business 5 or 10x, which is really where your cash could be. So if you identify these things before they do and you outline it for them and say, hey, I think you should implement this and this will translate to that, then you might drastically increase the valuation of your business. So now look, you're sitting on a $4 or $5, $6 million offer to sell your business. At the end of the day, you just really have to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out if you're ready. Are you ready to move on and do the next thing in your life? Because if you're not, you're always going to regret never having stuck around, okay? And having just exchanged your business for money. Remember, money comes and goes, but being able to wake up every single day and love what you do, that's almost impossible. So keep these things in mind and make sure that somebody offers you a life-changing amount of money before you accept the offer, because I can promise you, if you don't have the money yet, when you get it, you're going to realize, shoot, this isn't as big of a deal as I thought, right? This much money, it's great. It gives you security, but if you're not doing something you love, you're never going to be fulfilled. And no amount of money is going to change that, because no car, no house that you buy, no boat, no jewelry is going to make you happier. So anyway, sorry to get so profound on the emotional side of things. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you took away from it at least a little bit of value. Please take a moment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below and say, Mickey, I don't agree with you at all about how you should value your business. I would love to conversate with you. Anyways, I hope that you have a great day. Take care.